In this lecture, we will learn about Python's date class. The date class is similar to the datetime class we learned about in the last lecture. However, instead of containing both date and time information, it holds only date information, as you might have already guessed. A date object represents a date with the year, month, and day. The first step to creating a date object is to import the datetime module at the top of the code. The next step is to actually create the date object and specify the year, month, and day. For example, I will create a variable named date and set it equal to datetime.date and pass in 2020 as the first argument, 8 as the second argument, and 5 as the third argument. Note that this date object represents the day August 5th, 2020. Please note that each of the specified values needs to come within a range of valid values. The year needs to be between the year 1 and 9999. The month needs to come between 1 and 12. And the day needs to come between 1 and the number of days in the given month and year. If the year, month, or day is outside of these given ranges, then we will get a value error. Let's take a deeper look at some of the information contained in a date object. We can print out date.day to obtain the day for our date object. When we created this object, we specified the day to be 5, so when we run the code, it should be no surprise that 5 was printed to the console. We can do the same thing for the month. For example, we will print out date.month. When we run the code, 8 was printed, which is the month we specified when we created our date object. We can also access the year attribute for our date. For example, we will print out date.year. When we run the code, you will notice that 2020 was printed to the console. There are some other useful pieces of information that we can obtain from Python's date class. Let's say we want to get today's year, month, and day. We can print out datetime.date.today. When we run the code, you will notice that the year, month, and day were printed out for the current day that it is. To see the minimum possible value a date could have, we can use the date class's min attribute. We will print out datetime.date.min. When we run the code, you will notice that the minimum date is the year 0001, the minimum month is 01, and the minimum day is 01. To see the maximum possible value that a date could have, we can use the date class's max attribute. We will print out datetime.date.max. When we run the code, you will notice that the maximum date is the year 9999, the maximum month is 12, and the maximum day is 31. In the next lecture, we will learn about Python's time class.